we're told that the annual rent collected by a corporation from a certain building was X% more in 1998. So this was whatever the rent was. Let's say the rent was R. It would be X% greater here. And we're told that the rent in 1999 was Y% less than the rent in 1998. The question is, was the annual rent collected by the corporation from the building more in 1999 than 1997? So here, we can write these expressions algebraically. So a shortcut here would be 1 plus x over 100. It's the algebraic form. That's the increment. And here, it would be Y% less of this amount. So we'd get a multiplier, a 1 minus y over 100. So in this problem, I'm not going to go over where these expressions come from, but I do want to make sure you should be very comfortable with these, either algebraically or even if these were numbers. So the question really is, which one is greater? So I can phrase it as, is this greater? That's equivalent as being able to compare them. And you'll notice that if I divide both sides by r, this is really 1. And so it's independent of r. Question is that greater than 1? So if you glance at the statements, you'll see that at some point you'd have to expand this. But let's start with statement 1 first, which says x is greater than y. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and expand it, but I'll also do it with just numbers here. So this would be 1 minus y over 100 plus x over 100 minus xy over 100. In general, if you see a statement that has a lot of algebraic terms, potentially could be simplified. And if you look at the statements and you see some kind of relationship, you should always simplify them. So subtract 1, this becomes 0. This is x. Actually, I made a mistake. So this is denominator is going to be 10,000. So we have x over 100 minus y over 100, 10,000. Greater than 0. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 100. This is 0, so remains 0. So this would become x minus y minus xy over 100. Or is x minus y greater than xy over 100? So that's really the original question has now reduced to that. And I'm just going to rewrite the statements. And you'll see that statement 2 is exactly equivalent to that. So we know statement 2 alone is sufficient. Now, it's the question of whether that's, if statement 1 is sufficient or not. So we have x is greater than y. So for example, if you pick 20 and 10 for x and y, the answer to that question would be 20 minus 10. Is that greater than 20 times 10 over 100? That's 10. And that's 200 over 100. That's just 2. So that's a yes. So the question is, can I come up with an example where it's the answer is no. So if I pick these numbers close, because I know if I pick them close enough, their difference would be small. And so if I pick x as, say, 20 and y is 18, 20 minus 18, is that greater than 20 times 18 over 100? So the motivation to pick them close enough really comes from this question that's been rephrased. And that's 2, and this is 360 over 100, which is 3.6. So now the answer to the question is no, because 2 is not greater than 3.6. So here, statement 1 alone is not sufficient. 2 alone is sufficient. So this is actually a hard problem. I would personally put it closer to the end in the book, but I think the writers have been lazy in rearranging the difficulty, rearranging these problems based on difficulty. But this would be, in my opinion, considered the hardest problem on the GMAT. And there's several steps here, first being able to do that, and then simplify it algebraically, and then link it to the statements, and that's what makes it hard. So to recap, the answer here is choice B.